Our mental health is vital to our general well-being and achievement in the fast-paced world of today. However, precisely what is mental weakness? A state of mind marked by a lack of emotional stability, resilience, and the incapacity to deal with stressful situations and difficulties successfully is known as mental weakness. It shows itself as negativity, self-doubt, and a throughout sense of helplessness in the face of difficulty. However, mental toughness is an essential quality that helps us deal with life's ups and downs with fortitude, tenacity, and clarity. It gives us the confidence to take on obstacles head-on, overcome setbacks, and keep a positive attitude even under the most trying conditions. So why is mental toughness so important? Consider it, that time, as the fundamental basis around which our lives are constructed. In the same way that physical strength is necessary to do everyday jobs and activities, mental power is also necessary to overcome challenges, achieve goals, and lead a satisfying life. However, how can we develop mental toughness? The first step is to recognize and break the patterns that lead to mental frailty. We'll look at 10 typical behaviors in this video that weaken our mental toughness and drain our inner power. These habits, which might include avoidance behaviors and negative self-talk, can prevent us from realizing our greatest potential and leading the best possible lives. So please stay tuned as we explore the patterns that impede our mental health and learn how to overcome them. Our resilience and confidence are constantly being undermined by negative self-talk, which is like a persistent whisper in our heads. Negative self-talk weakens our mental strength since it reinforces thoughts about us that are frequently cruel and inaccurate. Consider the scenario where you make a mistake at work. Rather than seeing it as a teaching moment, you may think to yourself, "I'm such a failure. Nothing I try to accomplish is correct." This type of self-criticism lowers your resilience to failures and undermines your sense of self-worth. Understanding the language and patterns we use to speak to ourselves is crucial to overcoming negative self-talk. When you catch yourself thinking too negatively or critically, confront such ideas. Substitute them with statements that are more sympathetic and grounded. For example, try expressing, "I made a mistake, but I can learn from it and do better next time," as opposed to, "I always mess things up." Furthermore, engaging in self-compassion exercises can assist in reducing negative self-talk. Show yourself the same compassion and consideration that you would extend to a friend in a comparable circumstance. Remember that everyone makes errors, and that your value is not based on your shortcomings or faults. You may break the hold that negative self-talk has over you and replace it with mental toughness by developing awareness, confronting unpleasant ideas, and engaging in self-compassion practices. While it may seem easier to avoid obstacles, doing so has a negative impact on our mental toughness. When we constantly back down from problems, we rob ourselves of the chance to develop and learn, which eventually makes it harder for us to overcome adversity with courage and resolve. Consider the scenario when you're scared of not succeeding and are reluctant to take on a new assignment at work. You lose out on the opportunity to grow your abilities and acquire new skills when you shy away from the challenge. This avoidance mentality has the potential to cause inertia and a lack of satisfaction over time. There are many instances of avoiding difficulties in day-to-day living. To stay in your comfort zone, it could be as easy as avoiding awkward situations, putting off crucial chores, or sticking to tried-and-true routines. It's critical to change our perspective from one of avoidance to embrace in order to accept obstacles and promote mental resilience. Begin by redefining obstacles as chances for development as opposed to dangers that should be avoided. Acknowledge that failures and setbacks are inevitable aspects of the learning process and chances to fortify your resilience. To make tasks feel less overwhelming, divide them into smaller, more doable steps as well. Embrace each step of the journey no matter how small. Be in the company of encouraging people who will push you to succeed and offer advice when you need it. You may improve your mental toughness and deal with hardship by pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, taking on obstacles head-on, and seizing growth chances. Mental resilience can be severely weakened by dwelling on previous mistakes or regrets, as this can trap us in a negative and self-defeating loop. Reliving regrets or past mistakes over and over again in our minds undermines our self-worth and hinders our progress. We get stuck in a mindset of regret and self-criticism rather than concentrating on the here and now and future prospects rumination, or mentally replaying unpleasant experiences or conversations, and comparison, or continuously comparing one's current circumstances to an idealized version of oneself or to others, are common behaviors associated with lingering on the past. It's critical to engage in mindfulness practices and present moment awareness in order to let go of the past and build mental resilience. We can let go of regrets from the past and concentrate on what we can control in the now by using mindfulness practices like deep breathing, meditation, or grounding exercises to help us bring our attention back to the present. Developing self-compassion is also essential for escaping the clutches of regrets and past mistakes. Remember to be gentle and understanding to yourself and accept that everyone makes errors and has setbacks. Consider past mistakes as chances for learning and development rather than obsessing on them. Think back on the things you've learned from the past and how you can use them in the situation you're in now. By engaging in mindfulness practices, developing self-compassion, and keeping your attention in the here and now, you may free yourself from the weight of previous mistakes and fortify your mental toughness to handle any obstacles that may arise. By putting our sense of value in the hands of others, seeking external validation, that is, continuously looking for acceptance and recognition from others, can undermine self-confidence. Relying on outside approval to sustain our sense of self-worth exposes us to shifts in other people's perceptions of us, which breeds insecurity and a lack of self-assurance. Seeking validation from others can take many different forms. Some examples include feeling pressured to live up to others' expectations in order to feel accepted, or continuously looking for affirmation or praise for our choices or activities on social media. Cultivating a strong sense of self-awareness and self-acceptance is crucial to boosting internal validation and self-esteem. Determine your ideals, accomplishments, and strengths first, regardless of what other people may think. No matter how tiny, notice and celebrate your own successes. You are worthy, regardless of other people's opinions. Establish limits and confidently voice your demands and ideas, even if they diverge from those of others. Instead of spending your time with people who make you feel less confident, surround yourself with people who will support and encourage you. Focus on your own personal development as well, making sure that your objectives reflect your values and desires. As you strive toward these objectives, enjoy your victories and recognize your advancements to bolster your inner sense of value. You can free yourself from the need for continual external validation and develop a stronger sense of confidence and self-assurance by developing internal validation and self-esteem. People are frequently prevented from realizing their full potential by the strong fear of failing, which keeps them stuck in their comfort zones. When we fear failure, we often don't take chances or go for our objectives because we think we won't succeed or would let people and ourselves down. This anxiety can keep us from taking advantage of chances for success and growth, which ultimately impedes our ability to advance both personally and professionally. There are many examples of the dread of failing in real life. For instance, someone can put off applying for their ideal job out of fear of being turned down, or they might put off starting a new business out of concern that it won't be successful. Fear of failing in relationships can show up as a reluctance to commit or show vulnerability, which can result in wasted opportunities and unrealized potential. Reframing failure as a normal aspect of learning rather than a reflection of our value or ability is crucial to overcoming the fear of failure and embracing risk. Consider failure as a chance for development and resilience rather than something to be avoided at all costs. Instead, than concentrating on past mistakes as causes of inadequacy or humiliation, consider them as important lessons that have aided in your own development. Make it a habit to routinely move outside of your comfort zone and take little measured risks. Begin with doable tasks and progressively escalate the complexity as you gain assurance in your capacity to overcome obstacles. Remind yourself that failure is a necessary step toward success rather than a sign of weakness by surrounding yourself with positive and encouraging people. You may overcome your fear of failing and reach your full potential by redefining failure, taking measured risks, and surrounding yourself with supportive people. You'll be able to welcome opportunities for growth and achievement with resilience and confidence. Comparing oneself to others all the time can be detrimental to one's mental health and result in low self-esteem, dissatisfaction, and feelings of inadequacy. Our feeling of self-worth and pleasure are diminished when we base our value on the accomplishments, looks, or lifestyles of others, ignoring our own special talents and successes. People might become caught up in comparison traps when they feel envious of others' relationships or material belongings. Compare their professional advancement to that of their colleagues, or get obsessed with social media influencers' unattainable standards. These comparisons frequently cause animosity, insecurities, and a skewed sense of one's own worth. It's essential to practice thankfulness and concentrate on our own journey rather than comparing it to others in order to develop self-compassion and celebrate individual progress. First and foremost, accept and value your own advantages, successes, and abilities, no matter how they differ from those of others. To periodically remind yourself of the good things in your life and the progress you've made, keep a gratitude journal in order to detect when comparison ideas surface and gently refocus your attention back onto your own path. Practice mindfulness and self-awareness. Remember that every person has a different journey, and that sticking to your goals and ideals is more important than trying to fit in with other people's expectations. Make a network of friends and mentors who will encourage you through difficult times and celebrate your accomplishments. Remain in the company of people who encourage and inspire you to be the greatest version of yourself without creating a sense of rivalry or comparison. You can escape the comparison trap and build a stronger feeling of self-worth and fulfillment in your own journey by cultivating self-compassion, practicing gratitude, and concentrating on personal growth. Because perseverance enables us to endure challenges and adversity, recover from setbacks, and achieve our goals despite them, it is crucial for developing mental strength. When we give up easily, we rob ourselves of the chance to improve and become more resilient, which eventually makes it harder for us to tackle obstacles in the future with courage and resolve. Those who give up easily may face serious repercussions in their personal and professional lives. For instance, someone can give up on a task or objective at the first hint of trouble, losing the chance to develop and progress via conquering challenges. Giving up easily in relationships can result in a lack of commitment or resilience, while handling disagreement, which can lead to lost possibilities for more meaningful interactions and personal development. It's crucial to have a growth mentality and see setbacks as chances for learning and development, rather than insurmountable hurdles if you want to become resilient and persistent. Reframe failures as brief setbacks rather than irreversible losses by acknowledging that failure is a necessary component of the learning process. To avoid feeling overwhelmed and demoralized, set reasonable goals and divide them into smaller, more doable tasks. No matter how tiny your development was along the way, celebrate it and give yourself credit for your efforts and accomplishments. Make a network of friends, relatives, or mentors who you can turn to for support and direction when things become tough. Be in the company of people who see your potential and inspire you to persevere in the face of difficulties. Finally, to keep a good mindset and manage stress, engage in self-care and resilience-building exercises like journaling, meditation, or physical activity. You may strengthen your mental health and approach obstacles with courage and tenacity by cultivating resilience and persistence. By taking us of the vital activities that restore our physical, emotional, and mental energies, neglecting self-care can result in mental and emotional fatigue. When we continuously put other people's needs ahead of our own, we run the risk of developing chronic stress, weariness, and a decrease in mental health. Self-care examples. We all encounter neglect on a daily basis. It could be as easy as disregarding symptoms of stress or emotional discomfort, skipping meals or sleep in order to satisfy obligations to your family or career, or giving up enjoyable and relaxing hobbies or pastimes. Putting mental, physical, and spiritual well-being first is essential to maintaining mental health through self-care. To start, create a daily schedule for self-care that incorporates stress-relieving and relaxation-promoting activities like exercise, meditation, or mindfulness exercises. Make sure you're receiving enough sleep each night because it's essential for maintaining mood stability, cognitive performance, and general well-being. Make time for the things that make you happy and fulfilled, such as creative endeavors, hobbies, and quality time with loved ones. Set limits and learn to say no to obligations and tasks that sap your energy or jeopardize your well-being. Recall that taking care of yourself is essential to preserving your health and vigor, not selfish. Finally, if you're having trouble prioritizing self-care or are feeling burned out, ask for help from friends, family, or mental health specialists. Be in the company of people who support and encourage your well-being, and don't be afraid to ask for assistance when you need it. You may avoid burnout and develop a stronger feeling of balance, resilience, and happiness in your life by making self-care a priority and putting into practice workable techniques to preserve mental well-being. Overthinking can cause mental exhaustion and immobility by keeping us stuck in a loop of contemplation and evaluation, which keeps us from acting or making choices. When we overthink, we analyze every aspect of a problem, worry excessively about the future, or ruminate on the past. This leads to tension, anxiety, and difficulty making decisions. Overanalyzing can take many different forms, such as mentally reliving previous exchanges or incidents, obsessively worrying about worst-case scenarios or possible outcomes, or constantly second-guessing our abilities or choices. Techniques for practicing mindfulness can be very helpful in controlling overthinking and developing mental clarity. To calm your thoughts and bring yourself into the present, engage in grounding techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or body scans. By focusing your attention back on the present now and removing ruminating from your thoughts, these approaches help you regain perspective and clarity over your feelings and ideas. Practicing acceptance and non-judgment toward your ideas and feelings is another beneficial tactic. Recognize your overthinking as a normal mental function and approach it with curiosity and compassion rather than trying to repress or control it. Clear thinking and understanding can arise when you observe your thoughts objectively and without bias. In addition, take part in activities that help you de-stress and relax, such going for walks in the outdoors, doing yoga or tai chi, or doing creative work. Engaging in these activities can help calm the mind, lower stress levels, and encourage equilibrium and overall well-being. You may control overthinking, develop mental clarity, and break free from the grip of analytical paralysis by combining mindfulness techniques, practicing acceptance, and partaking in relaxation exercises. This will enable you to make decisions and act with ease and confidence. Resistance to change keeps us mired in our daily routines and inhibits us from seizing new possibilities or experiences, which impedes personal growth and adaptability. When we oppose change, we hold on to the familiarity of the status quo even when it is no longer beneficial to us, which makes it more difficult for us to adapt, learn, and develop. One can observe instances of resistance to change in a variety of settings. Employee resistance to process or procedure changes may occur in the workplace as a result of uncertainty about the future or worries about their capacity for adaptation. People may be reluctant to adjust dynamics or expectations in relationships because they are uncomfortable or unsure. Similar to this, even when people see the possibility for growth and improvement, they may oppose changes in habits or behaviors that call for going outside of their comfort zones when it comes to personal development. It's critical to accept change and promote resilience by adopting a growth mindset and seeing change as an opportunity for personal development rather than a danger. Approach change with curiosity and openness, welcoming the possibility of fresh experiences and viewpoints rather than rejecting it. Exhibit adaptability and flexibility by being open to trying out novel concepts or strategies and changing direction when necessary. Acknowledge that change is a necessary part of life and that being able to adapt is a useful skill that can improve resilience and general well-being. Seek out the assistance of mentors, family members, or friends who can provide direction and support during periods of transition and uncertainty. Be in the company of people who welcome change and are a good example of how to handle changes with poise and fortitude. Finally, use self-care and stress reduction strategies to deal with the difficulties that come with transition. Some of these strategies include exercising, meditating, or partaking in enjoyable and relaxing hobbies. You may easily and confidently traverse life's transitions, promoting personal development and well-being along the way, by accepting change, developing resilience, and adjusting to new situations with an open mind and heart.